Picture this: Richard Peterson stands in a bustling casino, cards shuffled, lights flashing, and a group of seasoned investors nervously watching. He deals the next hand not in stocks but in cards, testing how emotions twist logic in the heat of the moment. What if your brain was the real market battleground? What hidden mental traps are pulling the strings behind your investing decisions? Stick around, this game is just getting interesting. You think you're the master of your money, right? But Peterson's card experiment reveals how subtle emotions rewrite your decisions, often before you realize it. In Las Vegas, Peterson invited investors to play blackjack under a controlled experiment. Half the players were told they'd get real bonuses, the other half not. The players expecting money took bigger risks and lost more, showing how greed and fear sneak into our brains even when the stakes aren't real. Think of your subconscious like a shadow puppeteer backstage pulling strings. It isn't rational, it's emotional wiring from survival instincts nudging you to fear loss or chase quick wins. This hidden bias short-circuits analysis, turning cool investors into emotional gamblers. The breakthrough: once you spot these puppeteers, the game changes. You no longer react blindly but gain control. Investors who recognize their emotional responses can outthink others and avoid the classic pitfalls that wipe out bankrolls. Ever felt a gut feeling in trading? Peterson digs into why brain shortcuts sometimes fool even the smartest investors, and how to spot their tricks. Peterson highlights an incident where a savvy investor kept buying after a stock dipped, thinking it was due for a rise, classic gambler's fallacy. Despite clean stats showing randomness, the investor lost thousands, misled by his own mental shortcut that things must even out. Mental shortcuts, or heuristics, are like fast lanes for your brain, speedy but sometimes crash-prone. They simplify the maze of info but often skip critical signals, sending you down a path of overconfidence or sticking with losing bets too long. Here's the kicker: by training your brain to question these shortcuts and slow down your decision process, you rewire your mental circuits. That shift from intuition to mindful reasoning is the secret sauce separating average traders from consistent winners. So how do you turn this mess of emotions and shortcuts into a competitive advantage? Peterson answers with a surprisingly simple but powerful tool. Peterson recommends keeping a simple log, a kind of emotional diary for every trade. One investor, Sarah, tracked her moods before buying or selling, noticing her dips into anxiety led to premature selling. Over time, just seeing this pattern helped her pause and rethink impulsive moves. This emotional audit acts like a pre-flight checklist for your brain, stopping reckless decisions before takeoff. By naming feelings rather than ignoring them, you interrupt the autopilot that often crashes portfolios in turbulent markets. The transformation is profound. When you're fluent in your emotional language, the market changes from a nerve-wracking gamble into a strategic game. You're no longer a victim of mood swings but a calm architect of your financial destiny. Remember that casino scene? The flashing lights, the nervous is it to win or loss tension, that's your brain every time you trade. Richard Peterson shows that your mind isn't just a tool, it's the battlefield. Next time you face a tough call, try this: jot down the emotion you feel before deciding. That single act of awareness could be the difference between a mistake and a masterstroke. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.